Let's talk about the Titans. Because we talked about the Packers getting healthier, getting they got guys coming back. They used the last game as a little bit of a preseason game. Bakhtiari got a chance to feel, a little bit of some rush before he gets back out there for the playoff game. Titans, we haven't talked about Titans at all, huh? Nobody has. No. This kind of was brought up yesterday about nobody chats about the Titans because Dan Zeus normally moves them completely out of his rankings, and he is the authority on ranking teams. What have the Titans been up to? Are they getting healthier? Vrabel fighting anybody?
Obviously, Derrick Henry, A.J. Brown's going to be healthy. I believe Julio is going to be healthy. And a little stat nugget I found yesterday. Vrabel is 4-0 off a bye, but 8-0 when he has more time to prepare than the other team.
Ooh. See, the cerebralness of Vrabel. The cerebral Vrabel.
Yeah. Cerebral.
The cerebral Vrabel. The cerebral Vrabel.
So Vrabel.
So Vrabel's very cerebral.
That's right.
The very cerebral Vrabel.
Mm-hmm. Right.
The very cerebral Vrabel. The very cerebral Vrabel.
There you go.
Mouthful of marbles.
The very merry cerebral Vrabel. Doesn't get talked about because we always talk about him, having 4 patches in.
Yeah. Couple cigs
Both times, putting the boxing gloves on, fighting people, telling Harbaugh, actually, after his team was dancing on his leg, you just go fucking coach, okay? Just
shut the hell up.
Shut the fuck up. You just go coach. And he was obviously a linebacker and tight end and Super Bowl champion and incredible leader. You don't win all those games with all those injured people if you don't have some sort of mastermind in the football game. That never gets talked about with Vrabes. And I think it's probably because he is just an Ohio meathead.
Yeah.
It doesn't get chatted about. But what a fucking job they've done down there. Imagine if the Titans are able to go on a run, especially with Derrick Henry being all the way back. I mean, that's a team nobody wants to see, just like everybody says the Niners aren't a team anybody wants to see because they can get going and get on a run. It's playoff football. I'm very pumped for the final 8 teams we got.
Well, and the Bengals, too. Their D-line's all banged up. But, I mean, we're not talking about the Titans, but they're also the 4th highest odds, I think, to win the Super Bowl. It's Packers, Chiefs, Bills, and then the Titans, which is crazy, obviously, because they are the 1 seed and have the home field advantage. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty it feels like you might want to take a flyer on the Titans winning the Super Bowl because of that.
I think I'm stopping by the bus, too, with busing with the boys with playoff Willie.
Do it.
I think so. We were talking last night, and then he put out a tweet, obviously, with a nice bird call. I think we're going to try to make it happen. Normally on those SmackDowns, I fly in, go to the arena, do the show, fly out. There's not a lot of time to do a lot of, hey, how's it going? But that particular show deserves it. I think it would be an honor to chit-chat with them. Also, Taylor and Willie have been on this show. It'd be cool. It's Nashville. It's going to be awesome. But that place is going to be electrifying this weekend. Nashville always does big games, big events right. I'm excited to see how they kick off this divisional round weekend down there.
Or don't you think everybody starting from Braves to the rest of the team to their whole fan base is just super pissed off that they have flown under the radar? They won 12 games this year and they lost Derrick Henry for the majority of their season, I feel like. So they're a good football team for some reason, I guess. Maybe their offense isn't like super high flying, crazy numbers. Is that why people don't respect them?
I think it's just because it's Nashville and it's Tennessee, and they're like I honestly believe that's the case. The AFC South, not that great. The bottom 2 teams are the worst 2 teams in all of the divisions. They have the worst record down there in Jacksonville and Houston this season. The Colts, the team that was supposed to go on a run out of the AFC South, just really never kind of came to fruition. Hard Knocks was in Indianapolis, and this is the same thing the Raiders fall into. It's like Patrick Mahomes is in that division, so it's difficult to talk about the Raiders knowing that the Chiefs probably at the end of the day are going to be the team. I think a lot of people thought that the Colts were going to be the team out of the AFC South throughout the entire season for whatever reason. I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong, but the Tennessee Titans, number 1 seed in the AFC, so many injuries, they're getting all their people back. There's no reason not to chit-chat about them potentially having a great fucking divisional round and a playoff run, honestly. I honestly believe it.
Is it because like Chiefs and Bills, even like Ravens, like those teams were the preseason teams, like, hey, these guys could win the AFC, and the Titans were not in that conversation. So now that they are in there and the Chiefs and Bills are still there, that people still aren't talking for that because of that.
Well, you always got to justify why you're right. And a lot of people do a lot of those on their takes. Like, hey, I was right. This is right. I said the Chiefs. I said the Bills. I said that. Not a lot of people were projecting the Tennessee Titans, although they signed Julio Jones when a lot of people could. That gave them a little spark in the conversation. Oh, they get Julio Jones. Now you got Derrick Henry. Now you got play action with Julio opening it up, and A.J. Brown's unbelievable. Then that conversation just stopped, and everybody's like, yeah, but it's still the AFC, and we still got the Chiefs and the Bills that are going to represent. And Titans fans are Very loud, very defensive. I respect it. I appreciate it. Do we think they can beat the Bills right now? They already did in the season. Do we think they can beat the Chiefs right now? They already did in the season. I think they're feeling very good about themselves, and Vrabes has a lot to promote the boys with.
Yeah, I just feel like the Titans as a team probably feel similar to how the Buffalo Bills defense felt coming into this last playoff game. We saw Micah Hyde, big pick. They felt disrespected, no Pro Bowlers, even though, like on a lot of metrics, they're the number one defense in the NFL. I think the Tennessee Titans whole team feels that way.
Imagine Vrabel just coming out and actually punching Zach Taylor right in the face before. That'd be sweet. Yeah, he walks out half field. What's up, pussy? To Zach Taylor. Wouldn't that just be that's how I view, that's what I think Vrabel talks like to people. I don't know what.
To his friends, it depends how close he is. If he actually is buddies with him, he could do it.
I assume that's just how he is. I think he is the biggest Ohio meathead of all time. It just so happens to be like a football IQ at a level 1,000 or whatever in there. The way he operates and the way that team has gone is how everybody in Detroit hopes MCDC goes.
Well, we were supposed to actually have Vrabel. We picked Patricia instead, so that set us back about 10 years.
Vrabel would have been perfect for Detroit.
Oh, my God, it would have been awesome.
Vrabel has a brain. He didn't want to go up there. He knows that his best, path to success was with Derrick Henry in Tennessee.
Imagine Vrabel just walking down Broadway. Who's in here? Some country musician. What's up? Do a song. Do it. All right, and we're going to go outside. Vrabel's life down there has to be amazing. He is so much success as a head coach. The way he goes about winning, the way he keeps the boys all together. And he said, cut off my dick to win another one. You have to have that type of stuff. I love everything about the success he is having. I hope he continues to ride that mountaintop and become a Super Bowl champion head coach. It'll be good for everybody. But it's going to be a tough road in the AFC for a long time. And maybe it's because Tannehill is our quarterback.
I think it is.
Yeah, a little bit.
You start thinking about it, it's you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Josh Allen. All right, how do you feel about those two? Well, Josh Allen's the prototype. Patrick Mahomes is the $500 million quarterback. And although Tannehill has gotten $200 million contracts, everybody knows that team is supposed to run through Derrick Henry in the backfield. So maybe that's why, because it is a quarterback-driven league. Whatever the case, they stomp through a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be forced to talk about him, and I think that's how Vrabel wants it.
Well, and that's, their strength is being able to take it out of the hands of guys like Mahomes or Josh Allen. If they can run the ball with Derrick Henry and just chew the clock and be in a phone booth all game, they're so physical. They can win those close scoring games, and they're probably more comfortable in those situations than a lot of teams are.
Let's go, Titans, huh? Maybe the Titans going to run, but
imagine Vrabes. Hey, think about Vrabes in a Super Bowl victory parade. He will be the MVP of that sucker.
Oh, and they'll be on all those pedal things in Nashville.
The pedal bars.
The pedal bars. That's what they'll do down in Nashville.